Let me ask you about Campaign Zero, efforts at reform. They released an 8 Can't Wait campaign with 8 reforms they claim would reduce police killings by almost 3/4. Abolitionists are responding with an 8 to Abolition platform. Explain all of that.
Yes. So in the midst of this Campaign Zero, which is a organization of sorts that came out of the Ferguson uprisings and has been at the forefront of activist organizing around police violence. They've delivered to us stats on policing and police violence and use of force that have been crucial and they've been uncovering things about police union contracts, and those things are really essential. But their program, the 8 Can't Wait, the policy reforms that they issued and came along with this nice graphic and were shared on social media. They're really milquetoast reforms, right? And then what they do is sort of change the rules of engagement for police, right? Like they say, you have to issue a warning before shooting, or you can't use chokeholds, or you can't shoot at a moving vehicle, and so these sorts of things. And while those things could do something in terms of the reduction of police violence by Campaign Zero's own admission on their website, the 72% number, the reduction of police violence by 72%, would only happen if you go from having 0 of these reforms to having all 8 at one time. Then you would reduce police violence by 72%, but already across the country, a number of police departments have these reforms in place. What that means, though, is that you're not getting at what the actual issue is, and that is the broader issue of policing as a structure being meant to, and always having been in its historical roots, a measure of suppression, a measure of violent law enforcement of white supremacy and capitalism. And so the 8 to Abolition response, which has been led by Black feminist abolitionists, is to say these are actual reforms that are also actionable items right now that you can do that actually strike at the heart of policing. It reduces points of contact with police so that we don't have we remove police from schools. We're decriminalizing so that we have fewer interactions with police. We're setting up community-led conflict resolution so that people don't call the police for these minor conflicts, such as like noise complaints or parking violations and stuff like that could be handled if we were talking to one another. These are things that are actionable right now, and that you can do to divest from the idea of policing carceral logic that is seeped into all of our thinking, that the police are somehow a necessity in safety, when they've proven over and over that they're not.